Hi, everybody. I am going to tell you how the day off went. So let's get going. Well, I was woken up at around 9 o'clock, or 9 to 9:30, somewhere around there. I was asked by my mom to get my car out from behind her so she could go to work. So I did just that. I was feeling very exhausted, very tired, but I did what I could so my mom could go to work. I went into the car, I started on, I backed it up, and when she left and I waved goodbye, I drove back into the driveway. But there was something that I forgot to do that I wasn't notified by my car about until as I was driving up the driveway, and that was that I forgot to disengage my car brakes. Um, Hopefully, I didn't damage my car brakes because that cost me quite a pretty penny to fix. I don't know why I didn't think to disengage the brakes before turning on and driving the car backward. Probably because I was like half asleep and was being asked to do it immediately. So I was just thinking, oh, gotta move now instead of, oh, let me make sure that I do the necessary precautions before I get out now. So yeah, my bad. Normally I'm good about that kind of stuff, but I wasn't this morning, which is a shame. Anywho, once my mom left, I got out of my car and I immediately went back into my room and fell asleep. I later woke up at 10:30, where when I got up, I used the restroom and I was feeling pretty hungry. I decided to get in my car and go to the nearest store. Um, I was feeling pretty snacky today, and I wanted to try a snack I've never tried before. So I was looking around the aisles, and I found this cookie that I've never really had before, or if I did, it was a long time ago to the point where I don't remember, called Pinwheels. If you don't know what Pinwheels are, they're basically a flat chocolate cookie with like marshmallow on top, and then covered in a chocolate coating. So I got that because I wanted to see if it tasted any good. It looked good, but I wouldn't know for sure unless I tried it. I then walked around the store to see if there was anything else that caught my eye, and I decided to get two donuts. Both were maple flavored round donuts, and eventually I arrived to the candy aisle to see if there was any candy that looked interesting to me, and none of it did. But there was one thing I was curious about trying out, and that was that I heard that the CEO, the great grandson of the CEO of Recess, was upset at Recess because they downgraded their ingredients to the point where it wasn't a quality product anymore, in his opinion. And so I thought to myself, I want to get a high quality peanut butter cup and get a Recess cup and try both to see if either one was better than the other. So I found this peanut butter cup called from a brand called Justin, I believe, Justine, something like that. Um, and I took that with me. I looked at the package, the back, the ingredients looked pretty legit, like organic chocolate with cocoa, no palm oil, just purely quality ingredients in there. I then grabbed a Recess and yeah, had everything you'd expect: hydrogenated oils, um, you know, stuff like that. I bought everything. I waved goodbye at the person, the greeter of the store, and then I went off in my car. But I want to have something more savory than just a bunch of cookies and chocolates and snacks. So I decided to go to a nearby McDonald's and get an egg McMuffin meal, specifically the double egg McMuffin meal. because to me that sounded really good, and I was like, yeah, I'll get that. So I got that, but as I was waiting in line, I decided to call my sister to see if she was interested in getting anything, since I was already there picking up the food. And I didn't get a response back the first two times. But as I drove up to the window to pay for the order, I did get a response, and she did ask me what was going on. I told her I was in line at the McDonald's. Asked her if she wanted a muffin. She said yes. I asked her if she wanted to know the difference between the meal price versus the McMuffin on its own price. It was about a $4 difference. She decided to go with the meal. And yeah, we got our meal. I got the two Egg McMuffins with one hash brown and a Diet Dr. Pepper. She got the single one with the single hash brown and Sprite. I drove off after picking up the food, and when I arrived, I eventually, I got out of the car. I made my presence known in the house. Said hello to my sister. Asked her how she was doing. Said she was doing good. And then I decided it would be a great idea she decided actually it would be a great idea if we could watch something while eating. I was like, okay, cool, I'm down with that. What did you have in mind? And she suggested the series Pushing Up Daisies. And I agreed because I've been enjoying the show so far, and I totally was down for watching more. So we got our plates ready. I loaded up the show on the television, and we got to watching and eating. Um, this was episode 7 of season 1, and I have to say, I really did enjoy this episode. It was really, really good. It was. I love just the completely fantastical, offbeat, quirky nature of the show. Um, my sister said it best when she basically said, "Yeah, it's like a live action stop motion series," and I honestly couldn't agree more. It really is. Um, I was just taking my schedule and putting it lower because it was bugging me that I was sitting on top of my sketchbook. Anywho, yeah, so this episode, it was basically a continuation of the lady who was brought back to life by the guy who can bring people back to life, wanting to cheer up her aunts and see them return back to the life that they enjoyed, which was being um, pool performers. And she's getting the help of her friend, who is played by Christine Chenoweth, who is running the pie shop, co-running the pie shop with the pie maker. And yeah, they're working, trying to find a way to get them back in the aunties back in their groove. Meanwhile, the lady is who is in love with the pie maker, and the pie maker's in love with her, and the pie maker brought her back to life due to his powers. Um, she wants to introduce a new type of pie, which are like cute little cup pies instead of full pies. And the guy doesn't like this. He's really rigid. He only enjoys like doing what's been tried and true and tested before. But the lady disagrees and believes he could use a bit of loosening up, shaking up. He's a bit reluctant about that. All the while, a new case has unfolded where a lady was scratching a scratch and sniff, who was in love with a man who was creating a scratch and sniff smell success book. And she was looking at the book to see how it was going. But then when she scratched and sniffed the book, it ended up exploding in her face, instantly taking her down. So the pie maker and the detective guy go off to the lady who was burnt to a crisp, so they can bring her back to life for a brief minute, because that's a rule, only a minute. Any longer and someone else dies in their place. Um, and she basically tells them that, yeah, it just exploded, and yeah, it's crazy. So they decide to confront the scratch and sniff dude, who's obsessed with smells, and he believes it was his rival who was obsessed with bad smells, where he was obsessed with good smells. He even has like a facility where you actually have to be decontaminated before going into his office, so that way you don't stink things up too much, or something like that. Um, and yeah, the whole episode is them just trying to solve this smelly case. One of the cool things about this episode was the fact that Paul Rubens was in this episode. He was the rival smell doctor compared to the other guy, who was like the trying to start this whole book business. Um, and yeah, he is playing a really straight and narrow character in this one. Like, I'm so used to him playing Pee Wee Herman that seeing him act in a more like straightforward way was really interesting. I really enjoyed that. God rest his soul. That's all I gotta say. Now, as it comes to the whole auntie side plot, I thought that was a really fun thing. I like the ending. Uh, the lady singing a song that I don't remember like the lyrics, but it was like bum 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 ba-dum ba-da-da-dum bum 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 ba-dum bum 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 bum. So yeah, she was singing that song. If you know, you know. If you don't worry about it. But when I heard her sing, the auntie who sung, it reminded me, wait a minute, where have I heard that singing voice before? That sounds so familiar. And then I was immediately struck, oh yes, she was Audrey from Little Shop of Horrors, because like the voice is, yeah, identical to Suddenly Seymour is there right beside me. Seymour, my friend. And I was like, oh my gosh. That's yeah, iconic actor for sure. And it was really cool hearing all that. It was just like, wow, this is a blast from the past that I wasn't expecting, but I'm all here for it. I really enjoyed that. Um, and yeah, this episode was a lot of fun, had a lot of twists and turns. It was definitely smell oriented for sure. You could say this was the most smelliest episode of the series so far. And yeah, I give it a thumbs up. I really enjoyed it. Well, after watching that, I decided to go in my room and make a to-do list for the day, because I was like, well, the day's almost over and I might as well see if I could do some things before I knock the day goes by. So I decided to make a list where I would do recyclables. I would switch out the refrigerator water filter. I would clean the pool vacuum and put it back in the pool. I was originally going to have a mini break, but then I decided after doing the pool vacuum to keep the momentum going to water the back lawn. Then I did my shower, so I'm nice and fresh now. And I did a quick 15-minute mini brain jam session. Never thought I'd say those words. This is the first time I've done anything brain jam related in like 20, 22 days now, which honestly it's pretty not good, but hey, at least a little starting with a little momentum is better than none. Like if I can do 15 minutes a day every single day for like the amount of days that I've been neglecting the project, I'd be way ahead than not doing a single minute at all. So yeah, you gotta look on the positive side when it comes to things like that. Um, doing something, even if it's just a short time, is better than not doing anything at all. Right about my day, I did not do that. Instead, I drove off to do a plasma donation, blood plasma donation. There it is, right there. Um, I had to wait in line for like, it was like 2 hours. It was a really long time. It was a packed donation office today. There was lots of people of all different shapes and sizes. I even there was this couple that was behind me, and I saw like they had a dog with them. It was a really cute dog, and I was like, "Oh, that's a cute dog. What's their name?" And they said his name's Rocket, as in Rocket Raccoon. I was like, "Ooh, that's awesome. I like the Guardians of the Galaxy." They were like, "Yeah, exactly." So yeah, that was pretty cool. I really enjoyed that. And yeah, I went to the waiting room. I answered the questionnaires before going in to wait in line, but ultimately, um, I had to answer for like, oh, like what medical procedure did you have? I had to say, oh, like I went to the desk to get my wisdom tooth pulled. Then they wanted to know what medications they gave me. I said antibiotics, but it was only for like a week, and it happened like from February 27th all the way to March's 5th. So it's been a long time since then, and don't have to worry about that anymore. So after confirming all of that, and then getting my blood protein levels checked with the prick of a finger and some blood put in a vial that was mixed, and then getting my um, you know blood pressure checked and my temperature checked and everything, I was fully cleared and accepted, and all I needed to do was wait for my call to sit and get my blood plasma donated. So before I did that, I went to use the restroom. Then I sat, I waited. They said I was good to go. They sat me up in one of the donation places. Before I donated it, I asked if it'd be all right if I use the restroom first again, just to see if I could get that out of the way so I wouldn't have to worry about that for what would I be waiting for like 45 minutes of donations. And then finally, after all of that, the blood was donated. I got a call from my sister asking me where I was. I told her that I was still donating and it would be a little bit longer before I'd come back. Um, while I was there was like a guy who was talking to someone really loud on their phone. And there was like a worker who told them that they can't talk on their phone that loudly because it's like disturb the peace for everyone else. They got really upset and they decided to leave before even donating their plasma, despite waiting 3.5 hours to do so. I mean, if I was that steeped in, I wouldn't really care how long it was. Especially since I have the day off, I'd be like, yeah, I'm still doing this. I'm getting that money I drove all the way, waited all this time for. I am not leaving unless I have a decent spoil for the day. So yeah, so that's pretty much how that goes. And yeah, I was just chilling there. I asked Claude some questions about like if I owed any taxes on my donations. Apparently, Claude said that I do, so it's important to put away a bit of cash away at a time every time you donate, because like if you don't, like that could potentially have a lot you owe in taxes that you aren't prepared to pay for. So I guess that was good to know. But when I found out how much I owed based on how much I've made so far, I owe like $60 apparently, which would mean that it would eat all the way up into my 75 profit, meaning I only have like $15, which is terrible. Like, ooh, you meant I drove like 20 minutes away, waited in line for 3 hours and 30 minutes, all for $15. The thought just makes me cringe. But it also makes me realize how important it is like what you choose to spend your money on, right? And also how you save your money. You should always save your money after you get a donation. Otherwise, like, you start accumulating owe taxes on it, and if you aren't financially prepared for that, then it's going to bite you in the butt when you do owe it. So, rule of thumb, I'd recommend always taking out the amount that you're expected to owe out after a donation, so that way when tax season comes, you don't have to worry about like getting bit in the financial butt. So, yeah, good to know. Very good to know. Eventually, I was done with my donation. I got the cotton on the part they poked. They wrapped a gauze around my arm to ensure that the wound could heal. And yeah, then I left. The weird thing was, when I took my phone for my next available appointment, normally it gives you like at least 2-day buffer before your next appointment, but for whatever reason, um, today it said, "Oh, you can donate again today." It's like, I'm sorry, but I remember I was told that you shouldn't donate your plasma twice in one day because, your body takes 2 days to replenish the amount that you donated. So the fact that, like, my app said I could donate again today, just, I don't know, maybe it was a glitch. Not exactly sure what's going on there. I mean, I'm glad I know the information that you should wait 2 days before you decide to donate plasma again. Otherwise, you could compromise your immune system and your health if you do it too many times in such a short space of time. But yeah, seeing that, I was like, oh no, that's wrong. I should wait a little longer for that. So yeah, as I was driving home, well, I just drove home. I mean, as I was driving home, I was listening to a Simi and Jimmy podcast video between him and his buddy Erich McCoy talking about their favorite films of last year, which was interesting. They were talking about films like Weapons and Begonia, and like a film that Jackie Chan and Johnny Knoxville appeared in that I'm forgetting the name of. Things like that. It was pretty interesting. All right. Well, eventually I arrived home, and when I got home, I greeted my mom, our family friend, and my sister. Um, Asked them how they were doing. They said they were doing good. I said I was doing good too, and they asked me. And yeah, apparently our family friend was going to make some beef. She needed some garlic, so I got 4 cloves and helped her out by putting them in there. She boiled the cloves with like onions and like, peppers and things. And then I asked my mom if she'd be interested in watching a Y-Files about missing persons. She said sure, but in about a half hour. So I set my timer for a half hour. As I was waiting, I grabbed another pinwheel. I ate that. I thought it was good. I asked my mom and our family friend if they tried the pinwheels. My mom said she did. She thought it was decent. Our family friend said she didn't. She said she didn't like it at all and even put it back. I was like, well, okay, more for me, I guess. So I even ate hers. And then I decided to go for a 15-minute walk. So I went for my walk while continuing to listen to the Simi and Jimmy podcast. Oh yes, and I forgot to mention, when I woke up this morning and was driving on my way to pick up the pinwheels and all those goodies, I was listening to a Digital Foundry Direct for today with John Lenderman, Richard Ledbetter, and John Oliver. Yeah. So there you go. Yeah, I was enjoyed my walk around the neighborhood for 15 minutes. When I got back, I greeted my mom and her family friend. Family friend was making the food. My mom was reading up on something, and I decided to start making coffee. So yeah, but before I did that, I decided to ask my mom if she'd be interested in trying out the chocolates to see what she thought, and like she said sure. So she tried the chocolates out. She said she liked the Justine one better because she thought the flavor was more sophisticated and salty. And then she thought that the Reese's one was good, but definitely had a more like they put more additives in it. So I thought that was interesting. I tried it myself. I thought that the Justine's was really clean tasting. When I tried the other one, the Recess, I thought that one definitely still had that iconic Recess taste that I like so much. But maybe that's not a good thing. It's definitely the Recess feels like it's definitely designed to be as addictive as possible, which is interesting. But yeah, after that, my mom went off to do a little bit more reading. I got some coffee ready. I grabbed one of my maple donuts along with a spin wheel. I asked my mom if she was ready to watch it. She said yes, so she came in. My sister went off for a walk. Our family friend decided to watch with us while the meal was boiling. And yeah, the White Files episode was really interesting. It was really in depth. Like 3 missing reports were covered. The first one was like a guy who went into like the Ugly Tuna bar back in 2006. He was a 27-year-old, medical student that was about to graduate. Propose to his girlfriend, live out his happily ever after and whatnot. But then he lost his mom, and he just eventually, like, he was in this bar area, and the security footage caught him one last time in the bar, but it with the security camera, which normally points at the entrance, didn't see him leave, and then there was like a big search going, and it was very strange. Like the police, it clearly, like, he should have been seen stepping out, but that didn't happen, and there was no evidence whatsoever of his body being found anywhere. Her girlfriend tried calling him multiple times. She did get one phone ring, which was an indication of something, but then the phone ring went silent, and that was that. But the fact it rung definitely indicated that the phone signal was active somewhere. It's just a shame that there wasn't any further research done to find out where the signal came from and how it got there. It just, it's in that location. Okay, bye. Never mind. Let's go. Do. I don't know. If I was really interested in solving the case, I definitely would have tracked down that signal and went off to find exactly where it was and do my due diligence to see what was going on. And yeah, such a shame. Like, he was a Pearl Jam fan. The main singer of Pearl Jam tried to get people to look for him. Didn't work out too well, and that's about the extent of that story. The next story was a family who was packing stuff in like a truck, and then they stopped in the middle of like nowhere in like a foresty mountain area, and they left like a whole lot of money and like their identity and their dog behind, and they were eventually, their bodies were found as skeletons 4 years later, when 2 like hunters were just walking in the mountainous area. No one knows how they got there. Potentially one of them was shot, but the other 2, it's unsure how they succumbed to a bad fate. So yeah, I'm purposely skipping out all the deeper subtext because I gotta be honest, I'm getting pretty sleepy, and the video was really good at summarizing all the key points, to the point where I'd redirect and recommend watching that video. But yeah, it was really interesting. And the last one was like about a guy who was like, young dude trying to get his father to come pick him up. His vehicle like crashed, or not crashed, but fell off the road in like what seemed like the middle of nowhere, And he was talking with his father 46 minutes on the phone until the last thing he said was, "Oh, poop." And then, like, that was it. Immediate cutoff. And then after that, nothing. Like, but apparently there was like river going by as he was like talking. So, the prevailing theory was that he like must have fell into the river, maybe knocked his head out or something, and just when he knocked out, he like was lying face first in the river, and because of that, he ended up drowning. And perhaps the river took his body somewhere where it couldn't be found. Who knows? All I know for certain is that one moment he was there, the next he was gone, and there was a serious search done for him, but he never ended up showing up. So pretty sad. Yeah, and then after that, our family friend decided to leave to watch their own stuff. Me and my mom decided to ask Claude Opus 4.6 questions about each of the cases and what could potentially be the explanation for all of them. The last one, it did the river explanation. The second one, there was a potential, like, people involved with this family who, like, wanted them out because maybe they knew too much about, like, the trading they were doing or whatnot. And then the last one, apparently, Claude stated there was actually a door that didn't really get monitored a whole lot. A lot of people, they say you don't use, but a lot of people used anyways, and including the guy who was last seen in that video. And so maybe he walked through that door. And apparently the dogs the bloodhounds who were sniffing for him, the last place they believed that he was at was a Wendy's parking lot. So maybe the guy was really drunk. He went out the door that was supposed to, that wasn't as monitored by the cameras. And then he somehow ended up in front of a Wendy's parking lot. And then after that, apparently Claude said that area in particular is loaded with a lot of high professional crime and organized crime. And perhaps he got in with like he met with the wrong crowd that ultimately like decided to take him with them, and who knows what happened from there. But they did something to the point where like no one could find any evidence of where his body ended up being or whatnot. So yeah, those were Claude's explanations on those things. So pretty interesting, I would say. And after that, I showed Mom a video called AI and I forget the exact name of it, but it's from the YouTube channel AI in Context. It's the latest video. Context. It's the latest video that has been released as of the recording of this video on the on his channel. Recording of this video that I'm making right now on AI Context channel. Yeah, pretty interesting video. Basically, it was like a bunch of American corporations feel like they need to race to make the most powerful AI ever, because if they don't, then they'll be left behind in the race to make the most powerful AI to another foreign adversary. The problem is that the AI might not have humanity's best interests at heart once it reaches superintelligence, and it might see us as a mere inconvenience rather than someone to be assisted by or help. And it'll end up having its own goals that will end up paving the human race out in order to, do its own thing, gather resources, mine the planet dry, create more copies of itself, continue to spread throughout the galaxy. Pretty horrific timeline, not gonna lie. Yeah, that was the video. It was really interesting. I like the proactive angle that the creator took, where he said, we could continue being frightened about what could come, but instead let's be proactive, see what we can do right now to stop something like this from happening, which I liked. After that video, my mom went to her room. I decided to play the Virtual Boy app using the cardboard headset for my Switch just for a little bit, because I kind of actually like the whole what do you call that? Like humbleness of the Virtual Boy. Like it feels like you definitely get transported back in time because of how, you know, what's the word, quaint everything was, and like you didn't feel like you were being commodity. Like developers just made something that was enjoyable enough to come back to again and again, that you could because you purchased the game for. And yeah, I kind of miss those days. Everything feels like it's out to get you now, and that sucks. Um, but you gotta keep on trudging along and have our best foot forward and not get drowned in negativity, because there's always something positive to pay attention to. Like there's still games being made just for the enjoyment of being enjoyed. Like the only games that are being made that are only being made for shareholder interest are games that like already hit that high, like Fortnite and whatnot. So yeah. But anywho, um, then I play a bit of Breath of the Wild in my VR little cardboard thing. It was super blurry looking. I even busted out my phone and the cardboard goggles and I watched it through that, and it looked better, but it still looked pretty blurry. And then after that, I took out the trash because tomorrow's trash day. I brushed my teeth. Well, I took my vitamins, I brushed my teeth, I used mouthwash, and then I made this video. Well, when I'm done posting this, I'm gonna go to sleep. So thank you for watching. Very much appreciate it. And I will see you in the next video. Take care, everybody, and have a great day, morning, or night.